Streak 77. Now let's just do a Slav. Ah, we can play the win hour gambit. I decided to take first. Not the most popular choice, although I think this is fine for white as well. Oh, and then he just defended. Yeah, I think you might as well accept the gambit. But anyway, I can take or push and get kind of a reverse French defense. I think pushing is better. But I haven't looked at this in a while, so we'll see. Yeah, that's nice. So he's attacking this pawn and this pawn. So I can't use my bishop to defend. On the other hand, he can't put his knight here. Yeah, he can do that. Let's allow the exchange here if he wants it. Creating a pawn weakness. Yeah, he does that. So if I put the rook there, he takes the knight I can't take back. Let's go ahead and put the bishop here. Get it out of the way so I can put the rook here. Then, well, we could get castled now. If I go here, maybe he can take my pawn. So I guess I'll go here. Maybe there was an option. Anyway, I'm just going to castle. I'm not worried about him taking the bishop here. It'll bring a pawn in to defend the center, and this is my bad bishop anyway. He will have the bishop pair advantage, but he has a bad bishop too. Okay, when he does that, he takes the pressure off my center, so I can defend the knight. And I still want to get castled, but I didn't want to lose material to castle. There, he grabs the bishop. Yeah, I can't really play this pawn up. Well, I can, but it's not threatening anything until after I castle because... oh no, the knight, I was thinking the rook was still there. So actually pawn up does force the issue here. But I'd like to get castled anyway, I think. Yeah, let's take... So he didn't like me having an open F-file. He wanted to have an F-file to counter. Now it might be time to resolve this issue here. Okay, he goes back. So he's keeping the bishop pair. Makes sense. Knight here, in coordination with the queen, looks dangerous. But yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I'm not sure what his counter is. Maybe just pawn up, but he's got a problem with okay. He didn't have a counter. I was thinking, just to tell you my thoughts here, I was thinking he could play here. Oh, I got to back up one more. But that leaves this hanging. So he could take first because this is with check. And then play here. Then there's no problem. The other thing he could have done was move the rook over to defend here or here. Might be interesting. Anyway, short game. Let's get another one. Here, how about a rapid game? Here's a game. Zaire 2010. 21-18. I'll try the 1 hour gambit again if I get a chance. Slav defense. No, he's playing this move. Well, I can still go for a Slav defense if he plays c5. If he plays this, I can go here, the Trompovsky. So you can play g4 here, g5 rather, kicking the bishop again. I don't know if that's any good. Get the bishop outside the pawn chain. I guess so. So if he takes, I take back, and then he moves this knight, huh? Yeah, I'll just trade off that knight. Oh, I guess I should have considered coming back to here too. Well, anyway, I got my bishop outside the pawn chain. I can bring my other bishop here to question his bishop. And is he going for the big center with f5? I did have a check there, but his bishop can drop back. I had a check here. But after his bishop drops back, my queen is hanging and my bishop is hanging. So probably not good. Yeah, he is. He's going for full-on harassment of the bishop. So now I need to do something. If I just play h6 and he plays h5, the bishop drops back here. It's on a good diagonal, so it's not totally out of play. Or I could go all the way to h5, and then he might push. And I think I like that a little better. Not sure why. Oh, because the bishop stays out here, I can push this pawn forward and bring the bishop back this way rather than out here. Sometimes the bishop on h7 is just out of play. Anyway, very enterprising play from white. Yeah, I wanted to put my bishop on d6. He can retreat his bishop. Maybe he wants to retreat his bishop and I'm just helping him. Yeah, it still seems like the natural developing move for the bishop. If he retreats the bishop, I do have a check here, which might be a little bit annoying. Okay, so if he does that, this is my idea. I bring my knight out. I was thinking of doing this anyway because I might want to castle queenside, so I would keep these pawns back. And now there's a threat of taking here and taking here. Bishop takes bishop, pawn takes, and then knight takes pawn. Then, does he have a counter at that point? He's not yet in a position to squish my bishop. This knight is loose, so any knight move would be with tempo. But the knight and the bishop would be hitting this square. Yeah, that would be good for me. So he wants to force me to decide here. Okay, if I kick this bishop, yeah, if I kick the bishop and it goes back, and I kick it again and it goes back, then I'm unpinned and I could do the little tactic, winning this pawn. But at the end of the day, his bishop is here defending this pawn. Still, I win a pawn. And my knight can escape by taking his bishop. So that means when I play pawn up to a6, he'll have to take my knight. Which means I will be not castling or castling on the queen side. That's okay. I will get the bishop pair. So, yeah, I might get the bishop pair, but I might not be able to keep it. Anyway, his queen is looking at this pawn. I was going to put my rook here, but then his queen would take the pawn. I would take his pawn. Might be okay. Especially because my rook and my bishop are coordinating. The rook here and a bishop here. The rook there, the bishop is looking at that square and threatening to take it. Oh, it's threatening to take there anyway. Ah, I didn't see that. So should I just grab that pawn? Stops him from castling on the queen side. I'm not really tempted to take the bishop here unless I get some center pawn for it, because this doubled pawn on the f-file could be very dangerous. So while I had a knight here, I was going to play that tactic, but when the knight was gone, I'm no longer tempted to take that bishop. Okay, stepped back with the knight, so attacking my bishop. Go here. If he ever pushes his pawn forward, I take the bishop. So he's going there with the knight. He's piling up pressure on the h-pawn. Okay. Is now a good time to take that bishop. Bishop takes, pawn takes. This is loose. And I bring my queen up. And threaten to come out here with check. I think this is a good time. Give up the bishop pair, but in exchange, we'll get an active queen here. I'm looking at the check here, basically. hitting these pawns and the king. I'm also threatening this guy. You know, there's one move here. Oh, he just runs with the king. I was going to say queen here would cover everything. He didn't go there. Let's take this pawn. Let's see. I could defend this with my king. He could double with his queen. Then I could take this pawn with check. Oh, I can take this pawn with check anyway. Let's do that. Well, I sure hope I don't blow it in this game. I had a game recently I lost on time after building up a winning position. Okay, do I want to defend this pawn? Connect my rooks? I think so. Could have grabbed another pawn here, which is also, you know, kind of an interesting pawn to grab, because now my bishop yeah, I wonder if I'm going to get in trouble with all these pawn grabs eventually. I was thinking bishop here, you know, with the check here, but of course he's got that knight covering that square. So maybe it wasn't so great. Yeah, okay. Bring the queen out, attack a loose pawn. That one does not scare me. Where should I go with the queen, though? I want to step the queen out of the way so that I can push my h-pawn now. Maybe here is good. The queen can come back for defense. If his queen takes a pawn, that does not really worry me. Pushing this pawn, yeah, looks good. So where to? If I go here, his queen will move. And then I'll push this pawn. And I'll get my bishop, yeah, his queen moved there. So everything is defended here. That's what I noticed. So let's go ahead and push here immediately. And also I could just bring my rook here too. Oops. Well, let's not fool around with that while I've got stuff hanging. Okay, I can get in this check. Now, yeah, he went there, so I don't have another check. There is a knight check here. And the knight, of course, is threatening to take my queen. Okay, I can't do anything about the knight check, except run with the king. So it's just a question of where's a good square to put my queen on. Here is covered. Here looks good. Threatening to take that pawn with check. Okay, where do I go when he checks me? I will run up. Actually, I don't have. I will run to the side, I guess. Yeah, I can run to the side. This way. He checks me, I go this way. Because if I go with the back rank, then that leaves this loose. So it's a mate in two, right? Check and mate. So he needs to stop that or check me. Or both. Yeah, so he goes for the check. If he goes for another check here, I can take it. And likewise, if he goes here, I can take it. So now I think he has to defend. And I guess if nothing else, I can take this pawn. If he defends this one. Yeah, this is a game where white just let all his pawns go, one by one. He played aggressively with them in the beginning, and then I gave them up. And, you know, sometimes that works because you get counterplay. You can get counterplay from those open files that the open files take the that are where the what do I want to say? Yes, when you give up a pawn, the missing pawn leaves behind it an open file, or a half open file. Okay, I can't attack his queen because the knight is covering this square, so I think taking here is best. That does attack the knight. I will take it. So even if he hits my queen with a check here, or an attack, I can take the knight. The knight moves the check, I can take it wherever it goes. Then after the knight moves, yeah, then I can chase his queen away. Get the queen out of that area. And I'm starting to get a battery here. A battery against his king with the rook and queen and pawn here. Concentrated on this square, so I just need to kick that knight. The knight cannot move with check. And if it moves at all, I have queen here. The queen moves with check. Okay, now let's watch this carefully. I want to go to a square where the knight cannot check me. And also want to go to a square where the queen can't check me. That's not possible, actually. So I can go here, defending this pawn. And then he can check me from this square. And then I can go here. And then there's no more checks from the knight. And no checks from the queen either. Is there another square I could run to? How about if I went here? Now we still got that knight check. If I go here, I can go here. There's no check from the queen here. And when the knight moves, there's a mate. And I will let him have this pawn. I don't know, I was worried about this pawn for some reason. Or maybe I was seeing a phantom check by the queen here. Yeah, getting down on time. Getting tense. So if the knight moves, I mate him. If the knight doesn't move, oh, actually it's not true. The knight can go to here and defend the mate. If the knight doesn't move, I can take it, I think in most cases. Goes there, yeah. So I'm just going to take that knight, because it opens up the door to the king. Yeah, he's threatening to mate me. Okay, so I have to defend. Oh, he's got a check. And he can take the rook. Yeah, that's tough. Tough to keep this position together all the time, especially low on time. So I'll be down the exchange, but I'll have all these pawns for it. So I think still materially I'm okay here. Maybe, though, he could repeat and force a draw. That would be annoying. I'd have to find my way out of the draw. I don't know if there's a way out, right? If he just goes back here, I want to drop down with my king, keep this pawn defended. But he goes for the win. Okay, so I'm going to take here. Or push. How about I push? Because of the check threatening to win more material here. The other problem with taking was that he could oppose my queen with his rook. I didn't see a good answer for that. Maybe there was one, but I didn't see it. But yeah, I could maybe mate him with a pawn here and queen here. He's got this square. Yeah, not a mate. At least not that I see right away. Aha. Okay, so check. the king goes here, I can take here with check. No, I can't. I have to take the knight. Take the rook. Yeah. I could take the rook and make a knight with check. Yeah, I really was thinking I could take here with check. But this is good, because when he takes the knight, the queen comes in with mate. Yeah, I found a clever mate at the end. And since he's in check, he can't find any tricks to escape. He's either runs with the king or takes the knight, and in either case, the queen there is mate. Nice game. Okay, well, I'm going to quit on a high note. That's the end of this session. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye now.